just to recap, the current new composition will be 2 seats from the county, 3 seats from the large cities, for cities of over 35,000, 2 seats from the medium-sized cities, 35,000 to 15,000 populations, and 2 seats for small cities, for cities and towns below 15,000. If I get to the next slide. So the next phase of this meeting will be to select the individual board members to serve on the Community Transit Board. As I stated earlier, the qualifications are that they must be an elected official. They must be selected from their component city or town or county. And we have a maximum board, which we just decided upon with our composition, that we'll have a 9-person board, with the additional 10th non-voting board member as required by statute. If I get to the next slide here, a couple housekeeping things. We're going to break out into 3 different conference rooms around the building here. The large cities will go with Al Hendricks to the Leak. Is that Leaky? The Liquay. The conference room, that is across the go out to the main foyer and across to the other side. And you can follow Al or Anju will guide you there. I will be conducting the medium-sized cities in the Camino conference room, just outside the room here. And the small cities will meet with Roland Behe in the Jetty Island. And I understand you need to follow him. So find him, because there's you need to walk through a bit of a labyrinth of locked doors to get there. So hopefully that one goes well, and we can get you back here.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
Matt, I have one question.
Sure.
We have one of our small cities representatives on Zoom.
And I believe we have accommodated that for a call-in. So
Perfect.
Thanks.
Are we also selecting alternates?
We are, yes.
Okay.
Just briefly go over the selection procedure. Representatives from each county will join in the breakout room, and where I just reference where we'll go to. We will have administrative support in all of the rooms. Basically, what we'll do is we'll have open nominations from the floor. We'll go position by position. So we'll start with board member 1 in that category. Recognize nominations. Will allow each person that is nominated to make a brief statement, and we will also have them identify any potential conflicts of interest they may have. I have a slide here on that what sort of conflict we were talking about. At which point we will do a vote on each seat. We will do if there's not a majority in the first round, we will do a second round, which point the lowest number of votes will fall off. And if in the off chance we do end up with a tie, we have coins in each room, or we can select an alternate way of breaking a tie, but that's up to you. So we can draw straws. Or our bylaws of community transit do recognize potential conflicts of interest. And so if we ask that any person nominated to be on our board disclose any personal situation that may give rise to an appearance of having a conflict of interest, such as potentially having a family member working for community transit, past employment with community transit, or any sort of nexus with contracting, either opportunities or actual contracts with community transit. So we would ask that those be disclosed during the nomination and voting process. Next slide, please.
Okay, so I have a question. I'm not sure how, and I'm going to need some help here, how to transfer to my meeting room.
And Rachel, I think, is gonna.
Councilmember Martin, we will call you. We're going to call you on the phone number you provided. So just stay tuned, and we'll be calling you shortly. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you.
And I've already covered the material in this last slide, so we can go to the next one. And we can reconvene in our appointed caucus rooms after the selections are complete. Okay, I think everyone is coming back from their small room discussions, and we are here to announce the 2024-2025 Community Transit Board of Directors. And I'll start with Rachel reading the representatives from the large cities.
Large city board members are John Nearing, Christine Frizzell, and Kim Daughtry. And for the board alternate position, Susan Payne.
Go Susan.
And from the medium cities, Jan Schweddy, Joe Marine are the two board members. Mayor Mozomoto Wright from Mount Lake Terrace is alternate number 1, and Heather Fulcher from the city of Monroe is alternate number 2.
Go ahead.
Rolling for small cities.
For small cities, board member 1 is Tom Merrill, board member 2 is Sid Roberts, and the alternate is Mike Gallagher.
Great. Well, thanks. First, I want to thank everyone for participating. This was a interesting work of government here with a somewhat vague statute that didn't give you a whole lot of guidance. So it was interesting from a viewpoint of observer to watch this government in action here. And I appreciate everyone's forthrightness and candor and vigorous discussion on this, because this was when I was looking at this issue, this was an issue that there was a couple of ways you could come at it. So it was interesting to watch and see where you landed on this. So I look forward to working with this new board working forward. And I know Rick will have and staff will have an orientation for you in the near future. I think he might have a couple words for you right now here.
Thank you. I think that's really well said, Matt. I just want to thank the board. If those of you who are classic rock fans, I've got the Who in my head right now. Meet the same boss, or the new boss, same as the old boss. It's a really interesting experience to sit out here and watch this, and somewhat quite reassuring to see democracy alive and well in local government. So thank you for your time and your commitment to our organization and the work we do here. Welcome, Councilmember Fulcher. We're excited to have you, and looking forward to the adventure ahead. And for those of you coming from other jurisdictions, thank you for your time today to come on down and help us out with this. Our next board meeting is February 1st at 3 p.m. in this room, and we do provide a virtual link. So if you'd like to follow along online, you can do that. We'll be picking officers and our Puget Sound Regional Council representatives at that meeting. So it's a big one to kick things off. So thank you again for the time. Thank you, Matt, for facilitating, Rachel and Melody for setting up the room, and Chris for making sure the tech works, and all of the facilitators who help support the caucus meetings. Great meeting. Thanks. And I know I'm between you and your next meeting, so I will get out of your way.